Hi, everybody. Rachel and I are here together. We're very excited, and we're going to talk about light and the light body. So, we have a lot to talk about, actually. How are you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing really well, actually. Thank you so much, honey. And I really appreciate your time and
Oh,
everyone else's
same.
watching this as well. It's yeah, there is although the days are getting I'm in the UK, so or England, but the days are getting darker, but the light still shines. So I think literally the sunshine shines in your heart. And yeah, it's so lovely. And consciousness is contagious, isn't it? So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so wonderful. It's so wonderful when we can shine. Actually, this morning was not my best story. I woke up and I was exhausted, and I just stood in the shower and I had the water run over my face. Honestly, if anyone ever has problems with bags under their eyes, literally just 15 minutes in the warmth of the shower, and I just cup my hands for about 15 minutes. And it's just divine. Oh, and it reset me because I thought I was going to have to go back to bed, but when you've got these little tricks, up your sleeve that help you with your strength, I think that's the difference. It's a game changer for me, is water. And I think it's
Mhm.
because maybe it's the Lemuria thing again, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it's yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I always talk so much, so I want to ask Honey to talk as well on this one because there does need to be a balance. I get very excited about things, and
Oh,
yeah,
you're doing great. I think it's great. You're having a blast. That's what I love. Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
always. Yeah, but it's an interesting world because my third eye, and I've said it at the last couple of shows as well, it has been quite intense. In fact, if I go to bed too late, by the time I go to bed, if it's too late, I can't get to sleep because it's so intense. So I have to get to sleep earlier, so that it's not kind of. And actually, and I might be able to see it slightly later, but I've got these like they're like Klingon marks that come down on my face every so often.
Hey.
Mm,
Oh. Oh, yeah.
can't I can't really see. No, that they're really prominent when they really come out. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see if they decide to show themselves. But
That's funny. I think the pituitary is actually upgrading as well right now. I felt it, I would say 3, 4 days ago, and I woke up and I was like, oh, I just feel like my face was all puffy, and you're
yeah,
wondering, what is that? And I asked, is it my third eye? And I got a little bit, but the pituitary is now cleansing itself as well. And I think for a lot of us, the pituitary hasn't probably been working that well.
mm,
So those two glands work together. So the pineal and the pituitary. So our whole
yeah,
body is shifting right now.
mm, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's the vibration of the earth as well. So it's gone from the 7 point whatever it is, the hertz, which is essentially Earth's pulse, isn't it? And it keeps spiking. I think the other day there was a blackout or something. I couldn't measure it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you do feel it because it whacks you. It either does the opposite for me. So I either get like loads of ideas and I'm so inspired and I just can't get them on paper quick enough, or it's the opposite. I'm going back to bed and I'm exhausted. So yeah, and it's interesting how it does affect us. And so I've got myself a bigger book. It's my answer to it, basically. I like buying myself books to scribble in. I think one of my quotes is geniuses think on paper. I learned that one a
So
while ago.
these are my different projects. So this is for everybody. Like if you're getting ready to do a project, you're really going to do something humanitarian or whatever you're doing. That's how many
Oh,
books I have. Plus, I have this one that I'm writing in right now. And really kind of keeping your ideas straight can
Mm.
be a project. So I just spent $20 and ordered a bunch of little ones so that they're
Mm.
separate. Because I
Yeah.
always I write stuff down and then lose the idea. And then, but that's part of what's happening right now because Atlas is bringing in original blueprints. So
Mm.
everything is shifting in the body and he's bringing them in 24/7. So
Mm.
those codes are coming in 24 hours a day. And then the Schumann, the light and stuff, that's happening 24 hours a day too. But we're really getting affected by it when the sun is out where we're at.
Yeah. 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 Because you can feel it in your third eye. If you've actually physically been in the sunshine, it's quite powerful after that, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a
mine
really good idea.
warms up.
Oh, does it? Yeah. We don't get that much sunshine here in this country. Although
Yeah.
it was raining today, I know I was saying this earlier. But yeah, so I've got this is the etheric capacitor. So I pointed it up to stop the rain. And we held off the rain for 2 hours to get the chickens out and go and have a little sing song in the field with them. It's my
Oh,
heaven, it really is. But I know I like your idea of lots of different, but I do that for the different types of projects that I have.
yeah.
This is for the overall because it's the umbrella essentially, which is the lit, the living truth. And then and then I have separate books for the magnetic bowls and then the different, so I've got different media people working on different things now. So
I know.
yeah,
It's wild. Some of mine are just have somebody's name on them. Um,
I
depending
love
on what
it.
I'm doing. And I used to have a big book like that, and I've had book after book, and I just forget about them. Like I write in them, like this is one of them, and I do all these things, and then I run out of paper, and and then I forget about whatever's in there. So, I mean, if you guys are doing that, you're not alone. We're just full of downloads that are coming in, full of ideas. And if it's an idea that you're going to run with, it will come back. It'll
Yeah,
come back in. Like, don't worry that it won't. Yeah.
yeah. I think some of the ideas, like I get ideas when I've had a dream, but then bringing them back into this world. Like when recently I woke up and I realized that I could totally, completely I suppose, explain all about time and the perception of time. And it made complete and utter sense. And then 20 minutes later, I was thinking, what was it? Like literally. But I've thought about it in different ways, and I think we can discuss this one, can't we? Because
Yeah.
I saw it as like a snow, like Dr. Emoto. So Dr. Emoto had the monks meditate with love and gratitude, and of course the one way of looking at love and gratitude, as long as it's authentic, then that's the authenticity for love and gratitude. And so that the snowflake that it created, so they froze the water, had a look at it under microscopes, and it was just beautiful. It was perfect symmetry, geometry. And now, if this whole body, so overall 70% water, you zoom in, it's 99.9% water. If every cell, if you are like just brimming with excitement, if you're, just in gratitude, in love and in the moment, then you can change all those different aspects of the light in your body. So if you think of light going through a snowflake, yeah, it is going to go super fast through it. And that's how our cells communicate with the light, isn't it? So
Mhm.
if you take when Dr. Emoto had the water focused on with negative words, there was no symmetry to it. It was just discombobulated kind of mush. And if you think of light going through that, it's gonna take its time. So
Yeah.
healing for ourselves is to do with that light. It's to do with that love and gratitude, and it can just get to the place where it needs to kind of super fast. And I think that's the disparity, because when you are in the low vibrations, you can't think of these amazing ideas or the way in which, you can get out of a certain situation. All you do is you take yourself out of there, either have a shower, do something that makes you feel, stronger, more energetic, get yourself away from people that are negative, you know, and then things can start to lift. And that is the difference, I think.
Yeah, it's huge. And it only takes a negative thought like under a minute. So if somebody is ruminating over something negative, then it only takes 1 minute to start to change their brain pattern. So being grateful, coming out of negativity, all those things are massive for what we're doing. And it really has so much to do with your own frequency.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
huge. Yeah, but then what you emanate, from that. And I think the ideas, and I have so many of them, and schools, and like how do you integrate? Because I love the idea, because there was this years ago, there was this TV program where we had old people and young children, and how they would interact with each other and help each other. And the old people would kind of have this zest of life, because they're helping this little young child that has no idea, and they're kind of like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to the world. And that there's just so much love, that needs to come back, and that the self-love is so important. And honoring ourselves and going within for ourselves to do our work, to do our, you can't externalize everything. And I have got a few friends that, they look for external, not gratification, but they want something fixed, or they have an issue in their lives, and they go everywhere except themselves to look for an answer. And it's such a shame, because we are our divine souls for a reason. We are here to help ourselves. Essentially, we are made in God's image. But what does that really mean? Does it just mean? So I always think about the word enlightened. So an enlightened soul. So I was thinking, well, an enlightened soul is literally, it's those snowflakes being beautiful throughout the whole body, so that you can be that conduit, you can be that aura, you can be the version that enables. I mean, miracles that happen from it are phenomenal. Just little things. And for me, it's the robin that visits me, really close to me. And sometimes, it's the chickens that come and jump on my lap, and they kind of, they're just, it's just a joy for me. And I think it doesn't really matter what it is during your day. It's just something always makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. If you allow it, you can be happy almost your entire day,
Yeah.
and really not go into those dark places. I'm not really sure what's happening to my phone. It's acting crazy. But yeah, it's amazing. And if you think about the codes and the cymatics and all the cymatics that used to be used for helping the body,
Mm,
and all the things that we can utilize, whether they're like a singing bowl or humming or changing the frequency in your own body changes
mm,
everything. And having negative thoughts, like it changes the water in your body.
hmm
Like
Yeah.
nobody really thinks about it that way. Like you're affecting your own container here.
Yeah.
So if you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, or whatever, if you're picking on yourself, if you're saying I'm not good enough, or if you're doing things that are negative towards yourself, you're actually truly hurting yourself in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're also allowing things in that yeah, it's not a good idea. But the problem is that we haven't been taught. And I think another one is when you don't cope well with things. I mean, I think firstly, it is important to note that the universe wouldn't throw anything at you that you could not cope with. So sometimes, if you are feeling overwhelmed, it is that deep breath because we just need a bit more oxygen down below for our bodies to fully function, to think clearly. Because if, I'd say we've got three brains, maybe men have got four because they've got the one in between their legs, but, there's a, you could have a giggle. But you breathe down, and so you get more oxygen into your body, which is, and we forget, we've never been taught to breathe correctly. We've never been taught to, your mind will create the structure of the water within you, which will enable you to have downloads or enable you to have a happy life or to have full abundance. I mean, what does abundance mean? But what does success mean either? And I was thinking about the abundance thing because it's so easy to go back into that routine of oh my God, have we got enough for the month or have we got enough, because if there's ever any doubt in my mind, the best thing for me to do is to give it away, but not just give it away. It's the feeling that we have when we give it away. And it's that I'm so grateful, because it's just going to come back. It's just going to come back like a flipping wave. It's brilliant.
It
It is. It's
does.
if in doubt, give it away.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom said something great the other day, and she said, well, I'm just going to give it all to God. And
Oh,
so, God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, and I'm just going to give it all and not worry about it anymore. And
mm,
it was beautiful to hear that from her. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think we're really evolving. All of us are evolving, but letting go of stuff is really big right now. And if you're not
Mm,
letting go of it, you're getting pushed to let go of it in a very intense way. That's what I've
yeah.
noticed. And I'm just loving everybody through all their processes and kind of keeping to myself a little bit too, if they're really going through it and just loving them and letting them figure it out. Because ultimately, it's up to the person whether they
Mm,
figure it out or not.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then it's just those small moments, isn't it, of I guess a light bulb moment. And I listen, I mean I do, I listen to kind of different podcasts and it's emanating, the different things for me. And it is that the opening the cork, into another environment that is just it just enables us to do so much more with our lives, to see so much more value within ourselves, and grow within that. And I mean, it's amazed me, because doing the projects and and working with the magnets and how we're able to help so many different people. I mean, literally recently I've been sending them out for free, the magnetic bowls for people with scoliosis, because I was quite frustrated with specifically Facebook because they deleted every post I made about magnets. And I put an advert up, and within 2 hours, everything, over the last 35 years, it's all going to be deleted because I put something up to say that magnets could help with a headache. I was like, but the one that really I thought was really sad was that they were showing pictures of girls that are having operations to fix the curved back. But the magnetic bowls will, I mean, I'm not anyone, I'm not a medical expert or anything like that, but it's helped straighten people's spines, and that's anecdotal evidence. And so I've been sending them out for free, saying, please give me, like a video testimonial for when, your back is straightened and you've got got some life back as well.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't allowed to share it in one way, there's always a different way to go about it. um, when I heard that There was some complications with the projects and the funding side of things that is going to be delayed for a couple of months. It took me all of 3 hours to get over it. I was pretty gutted. I'd worked really hard. Endless, endless, endless. I think it was about 3 weeks of like, yeah, pretty much first thing in the morning all the way through to midnight every single day. And to hear that it was going to be delayed, I was pretty gutted. But you know what? Then I thought, oh, we've got extra time. We could have extra projects, But
Yeah.
there's always a different leaf that you then, and then of course the brain started going, which is the fabulous aspect to it, And it is um, my joy. My joy is to see these things come to fruition, to feel that excitement when we're all hugging. Most people do it with alcohol and cheersing and stuff, but I don't drink alcohol anymore. I can't be bothered with it. I feel so rubbish the next day. I just think,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
I'm not into
But
it either. Mm.
uh, but hugs are divine. Hugs are divine, and physically meeting each other, which is why I like that platform of yours, stepintoyourpower.com. I remembered it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can find local people. Yeah. That's
Exactly.
really, it's
But it's not
beautiful.
it's not just that, it's the spiritual aspect to it, isn't there? And there's the growing, there's the kind of how many different ways in which can we grow? How many different types of human beings are there? How many different ways in which can we help each other or be of service to each other? How do we, because water does, it always, I keep saying this, but water always wants to upgrade, so we see like-minded people, we feel like-minded people, and we connect to, we gravitate to them. So it's a phenomenal world, and you've got a lot of people on your platform already, which is the miracle, you know. How amazing that you've attracted all these people, honey. I mean, like, you are a miracle.
Oh, well, it's definitely one of my projects, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So the communication, Earth in the first place was created for communication.
Mm,
And we've been distorted for a long time. So prejudice was created, slavery, all those things. And now we're breaking through that and we're becoming sovereign even at the core, which is why we have to heal. So the core I see is the inner child or the human being that lives here with us. And the human being, this is their body, this is their nervous system, their subconscious mind. And the big soul is here to assist in this process of ascension, but we're not going to stay forever. I mean, eventually human beings will be doing their own thing and they'll realize how amazing they are. And emotion is really important to manifestation. And the soul group itself was created to have emotion as part of manifesting because
mm,
it's like the key, it's like what kicks it off. So having desire to do something is really important. That's a message that, yeah,
mm,
that's going to work for you. So I'm very excited because communication was Earth's purpose
mm,
before it was pulled into 3D. And now communication is coming back in. And a lot of it doesn't work if the ego gets too involved. So keeping the ego out of it is really important as well.
mm. And well, the desire, because I was listening to something recently, and
Mhm.
it was saying that, previously we've been told, that desire is bad, that we should slow down and not have desire, but it's the fuel. It really is the fuel, the desire, oh, I'd love to see that. Oh, I'd love to have,
Yeah,
and it creates. Now, if the desire is a Porsche, or it's just something that you get A to B from,
right.
um, it's kind of like an empty. Oh, There was this advert in England. This is when I was a child, and it was called Ron Seal, and he kind of puts this tin down. He says, "Does exactly what it says on tin." It does exactly the same thing as it says on the tin. It seals some whatever it was. But sometimes it's like you can have the tin, yeah, but the tin might be empty. So, that desire, that love, that thirst for something has to be there because it generates it. I mean, I don't understand, electricity, and I don't understand magnets necessarily, but I can turn a light on and it works, and I can put a magnetic bowl or two magnetic bowls on me and they work. They help me. And if we can use all these aids for our growth, and always have different things around you to remind you as well, because when you're not feeling great, you can't remember them. And that's something. Like, you got a headache, drink salty water, get a magnetic bowl on the head, all these things. But you get a headache and it's like, I can't remember. I have no idea what to do. I'm just going to walk around like a slug for a while. And then I'll finally remember. So have aids around you and things that will inspire you and help you. But yeah, it's good to be reminded, definitely.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, the creative part of the brain goes away, like it stops working when you go into fight or flight,
Yeah.
which a lot of times not feeling well will put the body into fight or flight as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, loads of people have been ill around me, definitely. I have managed to stave off everything, thank goodness. It's just my third eye that's been going quite crazy, but you do eventually get used to. Like I felt like I've gone to take my glasses off and they're not even there. Those kind of things. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something. I can't remember what I was going to say now, but it was quite um it's the magic of being in that vibration. And I was trying to explain this to someone else recently, that they were having a problem, that it's family actually, because you can't kind of escape the family, unfortunately. But that there was a situation, and he just couldn't see his way out of it, and it's always gone wrong, and it's always a nightmare, and it's always gonna get it. And I just thought, oh my goodness me, how do I explain this to him? So how can I try and help him? So I drew a circle and I said, "This is you. This is where you are." And every time you think of something that's, like really lovely, or a possibility, or an action that you could create towards something to make something happen, then you've got another circle just up here that you could move into, that then enables your life to be then all the way around you slightly different. So you're moving. I didn't say moving timelines or anything, because that would just scare him. But yeah, and I then said, but if you're in this ball here, and these are your thoughts, and you're negative, and nothing is possible and everything is a nightmare. And I said, you're just going to go down to this other timeline here, where everything is negative around, and the universe will show you exactly what you want. So I was trying to describe this, and he was like, "What? So if I'm just really positive, it's just all going to miracleize?" And I was like, "Well, maybe not instantly." I said, "It depends if it's realistic to you, because you could I want £1 million. Doesn't mean to say it's going to drop right here, right now, But if you want £1 million, like, you'll then just be stood in the shower and, oh my God, I've got a light bulb idea to do X, Y, and Z, and I can grow it this way. And, there's this, additional thing that I could bring in, and I could build a team, and, and then everything is possible. So anything is possible. It is literally just that vibration, just the way we interact with everything. Because if you did want something, and you thought about it, and you thought about it, and you thought about it, then you're going to come up with all sorts of different ideas. It's like the tree, isn't it? You start off with a trunk, and then you've got a branch here, and you've got another branch there, and another branch there, and you grow it, and then the celebration comes, which is nature's answer to flowers. That's what nature is. I think that was the vibration, wasn't it? A flower is a celebration to nature, and that's how it celebrates with flowers. I
Yeah.
think it's beautiful. Yeah. You got some
Yeah.
behind
It's,
you.
yeah, I have some, they're not real, but I have some
No,
behind
that's
me. They're
it.
forever flowers.
I love
But
them.
yeah, but that totally like works. Like if you create something beautiful, so let's say this is that first bubble where he's happy and he's willing to vibrate up into it because he created it. So if
Mm.
you create something beautiful for yourself and it comes in and then you get your vibration to match it, it shows up.
Yeah.
So I think that's, and sometimes in the middle of these two things, you have to do something.
Mm. Yeah.
Like you have to have an inspired action and follow it.
Yeah.
And people wonder, like, well, why didn't that happen for me? And it's like, because you were given an action to do and you didn't send the email, or you thought, oh, well, I can't do that. It's too much.
Hmm. Hmm.
Whatever it is. Maybe you had to go to a different country
Yeah.
and, go on a vacation to actually meet people that would help you with it.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
say no, then this disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of people haven't been taught that. Like no one's been taught that. There are teachers out there now, but it's not common knowledge. And I think that is really a lot of what needs to be taught to little children. But they also already know.
Yeah.
So they don't care what you are saying. Like they're going to do it anyway. A lot of little kids now that are coming in, like they're not
No.
interested in the trauma. They're going to have a good time. They're going to do what their purpose is and they won't go behind a veil. Like
Mm.
they won't
Yeah.
have a veil. They won't have 3D like stuff that they carry around. They're not interested.
No.
Yeah.
One thing that really built my confidence when I was late teenager, actually, I shaved off all my hair and I had no hair to hide behind. But there was a 3-year-old recently. She had one of the magnetic bowls and she started putting pebbles in it. And she was saying, I'm charging them up, mummy, kind of thing. And I was like, how
That
how does she
works.
know? How does she even know this? And she was like, oh no, she's quite intuitive. And I'm like, nobody's told her that. And so how does she know that that actually happens? I mean, it's yeah, quite interesting, isn't it? And actually, the one example, there's, I mean, my whole life is full of them because you act upon things. You have an inspired thought and you act upon them. So I'd paid for some coaching and I got this coach, and then I realized it was the same coach since 2017. I went back in all my photographs and videos and found the video of them talking to me to give me suggestions. But there was a panel of 3 of them, and one of them was the lady that I'm now working with. So I looked her up, and then I asked him, and then I found her website, and I phoned her up, and we had an hour's Zoom. And when she saw my name, I mean, this is 8 years later, that I'm contacting her. But I just had this idea that I should contact her. And then all of a sudden, she's now a business partner, 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just bang, bang, bang. It is so fast. If you're ready to hit that runway, then things can happen so quickly. And actually, my brother, bless him, what he did do is he decided to think about it a bit more, and he's trying to buy a house basically. So what he did was that he created this letter and then sent it to all the places where he wanted to go and buy a house because nothing was available in the I don't know, the conventional way. So he's
Mhm.
done it direct, and so he might get something from that, which is the inspired thought. He's done the inspired action. So good on him. Good on him. You know, hopefully he'll be a bit more positive about it.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him. But it's difficult, because you can't choose your family sometimes, and they are very oh, I think well, why are you doing it? And I was like, oh. Why not? Well, no one else is going to help us, you know. Do you see the government helping us? And I don't think so. So why don't we just help ourselves? Why don't we build these schools? Why don't we do this? You know, because nothing is an impossibility anymore, like literally, because we know that a lot of it is a facade. It is okay, a lot of it is real, yes. You know, that there are things happening in the world which are real and they're not good, but it depends on how we view it, you know, and then how we transpire that into, okay, it's so frustrating and so rubbish. I'm either going to do this differently or I'm going to create something new. So we can stand there and fight and kind of, you know, I don't want this, or we get inspired and then we have an idea to phone up a friend, or you know, they're really good with this and so could you help me with that? And because we can't do everything, you know, there are you have certain aspects to your own character, and I'm really good at certain things, I'm rubbish at other things, you know. Alex, bless him, finance director, he loves policies. I'm like, who loves policies? Can you believe someone loves making policies? And they do. It's brilliant. I love the fact that we're all so different. I really do. And it just makes the world go round, doesn't it?
Does, I mean, how boring would it be if we were all the same? How
Oh,
boring would it be if nobody had a desire to do anything? It would be
yeah.
like zombie apocalypse, you know, like boring. And I think that's, you know, as a soul, you come down here to do things. You don't come here just to spin your wheels and do everything the same every day.
No.
So as we shift and change and create new things, I mean, that's where the attention should be, is on what you're inspired about. Because
Yeah.
when we don't put our attention there and we put our attention on something we're annoyed by, then that grows,
Mm,
you know? So I
I love that.
extract it. If something irritates me, I extract my attention out of it after it
Mm,
happens. I'm like, ooh, you know, I don't want to give that my energy. You can't have it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And cutting cords. I remember when I did my Ho'oponopono course, there was this part where you would say a prayer to cut the cords. And I found that really useful actually, because it is, I mean, you can worry about things. It's almost like that kind of the ball and chain, isn't it? You're dragging it and dragging it. And I mean, I'm not perfect. I've got a whole attic that I need to sort through. I've got balls and chains that I'm still
Oh,
kind of dragging along with me. My old school books I still haven't got rid of, you know, for whatever reason. But there's one that I want to keep because I used to draw houses with wheels on the bottom of them, because that's how they would move house in Brazil. They would literally move, because if you bought a house basically, you would buy the land, but you wouldn't buy the house on top of it, and they would literally put logs in front of one another and roll the whole house down the streets. But it's a bit crazy, isn't it? But I like the saying devil food, because when we do have those negative thoughts, or you know, the lack mentality, you know, I can't do that, I'm not blah blah, you know, or I don't love myself enough. It is, you become devil food, because the loosh never made any sense to me, but devil food is like, okay, so you're giving them food, by the way.
yeah.
It makes a lot more sense to me. But Loosh, yeah, is yeah, I think devil food just describes it better. And we can, you know, we can very easily get into a bad rut and become devil food. And I see it a lot, really, you know, and the poor me, which is the hardest one to get out of, isn't it? And I quite enjoy the Celestine prophecy for that, because there's really good demonstrations and you know, fun things, and I would do it at festivals where you show people how to look at their auras and how you see it against the horizon, and that
Yeah.
we are alive. We are so magical. I mean, there was that chap that had his brain. He had an X-ray of his brain, and he had 2% of his brain and he could still do everything, you know. So how much do we really live in our etheric bodies, you know, and how much function is really here? And nothing is separate, is it? It just is a conglomerate, a beautiful sphere of movement and ideas. And yeah,
That's just like the cell. So I shared a picture of the cell on Telegram this morning, and then you were talking to me about the cell. And the cell, I mean, it looks like a city. There's all kinds of stuff going on inside of a cell.
yeah,
And if you think about how, like, we are a microcosm of the macrocosm, our cells are also a microcosm, of us.
mm,
So there's just all this stuff going on, and it's all designed to work together. And there's certain principles behind it. And a lot of it is up to us how it works. And I know, like, lately, the synchronicity is amazing right now. It's amazing. And we've
yeah,
just come through the 1111 portal, which I think that was kind of intense for a lot of people. But knowing how to start to work with creation, I think is going to be the next thing, because we are going to start creating on such a massive scale. Because
mm,
the stuff that we haven't appreciated, it's falling apart. And it's beautiful that it's doing that. And I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. But when I do see it, I'm like, oh, good. I'm grateful for it, that it's blowing up or falling apart, or, having issues. And watching the movie is not something I want to do all the time, but seeing little clips of it and saying, oh, I see we're getting pretty far with this scenario. So that means things are getting ready to pop in certain areas. And it's exciting. It's exciting. And there's no reason to be afraid of it. That's the thing. Like, we're consciousness, we're eternal, and we're here to create something and to change the way that humanity has lived. So, I mean, it's really beautiful if you think about it that way.
yeah, yeah, hugely. It was quite funny actually when we first started talking. I was talking about the cell and how complicated the cell is. You said I've just shared a picture of the cell on my Telegram channel. That
Yeah.
was perfect. But we were talk I was talking about the way in which sunlight has an effect because the sunlight creates like a DC current. And when we look at the sun, it creates a DC current in our eyeballs, and it is then responsible for our melatonin, the absorption of vitamins, the absorption of minerals, and they're all intelligent things, you know. But it's also Jerry. So I popped over to the water conference last year in Portugal, and all the top water people, you know, the Schrauberger, the Vida Rostin was there, and Jerry, um, and he talks a lot about easy water. So it's like this. So there's kind of running water, and then there's this kind of like almost like congealed water, and it's the congealed water side of things. It's not as runny as water, but it creates this almost like this incredible aspect to water, and like bacteria and things like that, they're just like, don't go near me," kind of thing. But it's the beauty of easy water is incredible. You're writing something down.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but easy water is incredible, and it's the difference between the loving of water and
Yeah.
then not giving it any thought, just drinking it as it is, but blessing food, blessing water, blessing ourselves, and just being appreciative. I mean, you take a next breath, and we just take it for granted, like I think, well, who was it? Somebody was saying that I heard this recently, we've had too many out breaths and not enough in breath. So the in breath where we're grateful to the earth. The earth is a being. It is creating the oxygen for us to breathe. Yet we're just going about our day on our computers and all the rest of it, not giving a second thought to the fact that Mother Earth has created this oxygen for us, this air to breathe. And so I've been a lot more conscious just recently of thank you.
Yeah,
And it's so simple, but we become complacent, we forget to love ourselves, we forget to, have that moment of peace, to appreciate our food, drink our water with gratitude. And it's like this, I don't know. It's a different way of life, isn't it, really?
it totally is. And if you're grateful for it, then it's going to be good to you.
Yeah.
You're going to get more out of it because the frequency's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we need more gratitude in breaths from everybody.
Yes.
Very simple. Yeah, because she does need appreciating. And when I go down to see the chickens, I mean it's glorious. I love it, but I get dressed up for it now because it's chilly now, but and it gets dark so early. But I put all my layers, and I sit and sing to the chuk chuks. And then I mean even today I was walking around. There's still blackberries. I was feeding blackberries to the chuk chuks today. So it
Wow.
just, yeah, and I've been singing somewhere over the rainbow and looking for the bare necessities of life. They were some of the two songs that I was like, who really got me out of my mojo this morning in the shower.
Good. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, and just kind of taking your mind out of your own tunnel, like we get into kind of tunnel vision and
Mm,
working with animals, petting your cat, like whatever it is. If it gets you out of that tunnel vision, I think it's really beautiful because
mm,
sometimes we get a little too deep in there, you know, and
yeah.
we need to have that observer effect a lot more than we necessarily do. And some people, they haven't learned how to do it much at all yet. And I think that's going to be a huge part of communication. If you
Mm,
can't see the other person and can't see their point of view at all, then it's going to be a lot harder to communicate. So, coming
mm.
out of our own tunnel is going to be important.
Yeah, hugely. So the tunnel is created into the tree trunk, and then you start having branches. And
Yeah,
that's how you grow out of the tunnel and you embody more things into your life and bring them in and bring in the magic, the glory, because it's quite a glorious life, really.
it really is. I mean, I was just saying this morning to someone, I'm like, well, now is like the first time over the last few months is the first time that I've felt like, yeah, I'm ready to stay here as long as I'm needed to finish what I'm doing. And I've always had like my soul's always been like, oh, how much longer do we have to do it? How much longer? Are we there yet? Like, and now it's shifted because we've come so far
Yeah.
and I'm finally comfortable being here more. And I think that's really important too, because a lot of the souls that have come in, they don't hang out on Earth very much, a lot of them. Or maybe they've hung out here so much that they really wanted to let go of it too, because they've been trying to raise the vibration for a long time. So some souls are here just for this. And then some souls have been here so often that they're like,
Mm,
oh, are we done? And mine's one of those. Like, I've been here so often and been involved in like trying to kickstart ascension so many
mm,
times. And now it's finally happening. And it's a beautiful thing. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not dissatisfied with what's going on. I'm really grateful how good it's going. So I'm
Yeah,
happy to just hang out, finish all my missions, and then go, you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that you were going to live for longer than anticipated? Because did you? Because
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, I don't really worry about aging.
no, well, it's not
Yeah,
not aging, but I think how long, can we stay on the surface of this earth in order
as long as we
to
want,
make it?
really.
Yeah. But I just had this intrinsic knowledge when I was younger that there's no way I'm going to be like less than 100 years old on this planet in this life. That it
Right.
was definitely going to be about, at least 800. But, and then science and people dying around you and all the rest of it. And I'm just, no, we're definitely supposed to be here for longer, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm quite excited about being here for 800 years. I mean, like, bring it on.
Yeah. And even if you're not, your inner child will be, you
Yeah.
know, like even if you have finished your mission as a soul, your inner child is still going to be here. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I've looked into how long I'm going to be here, all that kind of stuff many times. And the
Yeah.
timelines have shifted a lot. And my attitude is just like, I am happy to be here as long as I'm needed.
Yeah.
And then I'm going on vacation.
I shall come and see you on vacation.
Yeah, I'm going to go somewhere
But
where
no,
it's just mellow.
yeah. But
Yeah,
you see, even if I was on vacation, the ideas still just wouldn't stop flowing, and the connections still wouldn't. I don't think, I mean, I don't really see, for me, I don't see it as work. I mean, I sit and kind of like think of all sorts of different ideas and different ways of explaining things or understanding them. And
yeah,
yeah, it is for me, it's such a joy, and I think that is the wonderful aspect of this, and then we can just emanate that and help others, that are potentially on the fence of, if something is £50,000, it might sound a lot like a lot of money that does, but but there, or it could be 4 trillion, and that might sound like a lot of money, but it's all relative. It just depends on what, on who. Um,
yeah. And on how hard you make it,
yeah,
like
I
how
mean,
big you think it is.
you could spend the
Yeah.
next 5 years like building a team of 50, and then deploying something that costs $4 trillion, pounds, whatever it is. Or you could start smaller and you could start with an idea and you could start to build. And those ones are generally better because you learn more lessons along the way.
Mhm.
You could go full out big bang, but you would need experienced people within that, and it's finding those people and then are they aligned with you?
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
But the more in which we communicate, the more in which we share, the more in which we understand each other's, purpose or vision here, and then we can help each other.
Mhm.
So, and I'm so grateful for the beautiful teams in our projects because they love they love the fact that they're bringing this to humanity, and they love the fact that it could be replicated one day, there's so much joy
Yeah.
from them, and then I get all excited and I think of ideas for them, and oh no, we've discussed that one already, and that person's in charge of that idea of that, and
Yeah.
and this person's in charge of that idea for that, and oh, we've had another one, and but it's yeah, copy genius. So copy something that you think is amazing, even. Because if you can't think of something that you would really love to do, but you've seen someone else do it, And I saw this a lot in business kind of thing, that you think of an idea and then you go out and do your market research. And I think that's such a bad idea because the market research enables you to see how someone else has implemented something, and it kind of starts to implement how you're then going to deploy something. So instead of your genius just kind of like just brainstorming the whole thing and figuring it out, you then go and pick and search at someone else, and they've done a half-assed job basically because they're maybe not inspired, they're not joyful about it. Then they're just doing the full basics, because then you start to lower yourself then to other people. And I find that quite interesting, that we end up just being kind of copycats, but there is something unique, inspiring, and joyful about every single person, and everyone is so individually unique. I mean, I cannot stress that enough, because there is just a gem inside everybody trying to wake up.
There is. And I mean, that's the reason to heal. That's the reason to share who you are, because everybody came down here with a certain vibration, and it's time to start being the real you, the you without any baggage, the you that's like ready to expand and explore and create. Because all of the creativity that we do together, everybody's going to have just a slightly different idea about things. And that's what's really beautiful, because as we do things together, we're creating something wholly unique, brand new, and truly beautiful, because it's multifaceted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's having all the petals of the flower, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every single. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. This has been fabulous conversation. So, Rachel's magnetic bowls are below,
Oh yeah.
and I love them. I sleep with one under my pillow.
Are you
And
sleeping well?
yeah, I sleep pretty well. I mean, considering all the crazy stuff that's going on with the energies, I'm sleeping pretty good. And I really like it. It just lives in the bed inside of its little velvet
Hmm.
bag, you know. And anything that we can do to improve our own situation, even if you feel like, wow, that's like a lot, don't be afraid to allow it to show up for you. That's what I'm going to
Hmm.
say. Like, to allow a way to get it to show up for you, because there's always a way, and it's always easier than you thought it was,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, true. Actually, the magnetic bowls at the moment it's 177 for this is in pounds, for one, but then the second one is half price, and then the third one is half price if anyone wants more than one, because it's I don't want to say it's a Christmas thing, because I'm not really into Christmas. It's a seasonal.
There you
This
go.
is
Yeah.
this is to help, yeah, because if you need any help with sleep, or if you need any help with any physical pain or I mean, like if you need a new hip operation, after wearing one of these for a month, you might not even need a new hip operation. Sore backs, headaches, migraines. But yeah, I mean, the sleep and the scoliosis it's phenomenal, for absolutely phenomenal.
And we're not
No,
making any claims either, but,
no,
you
no,
know,
we're not.
do your own thing, but it's exciting. It's
Yeah,
exciting. Yeah.
any aid is always appreciated, and and love yourself, and give yourself some gratitude, and some, give some love to, and somebody asked me, like, how do you change the structure of water? I was like, oh gosh. I said, well, what you do is you
So
fill
many
up a
ways.
glass of water,
Yep.
and you have an empty glass of water, and then you can pour the water from glass to glass, and you just give it love, and you change the whole structure of that amazing water. I mean,
Yeah.
it's lovely and simple. Or you can use a magnetic bowl next to it.
Yeah, you could use a tensor ring. You could put it in the sun. You could put it in a cobalt colored glass and put it in the sun. You could do so many things.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
water does want to elevate. Your body wants to elevate because it's
Always.
full of water. Yeah. Your cells want to be
99.9.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't lock them up in a cell, will you?
Mm.
Sorry.
No.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much, Honey. I really appreciate
You.
your well.
It's
Yeah.
always a blast.
Always, always. Yes.
Yes,
And nice to be able to, I mean, please, kind of pop some questions below if you want us to discuss certain things as well, because it's lovely having these conversations, especially with people that are, like willing to share, and appreciate all the gifts that we have. I think that is it's magical. So yeah, any questions, please do say, and I'll have a look at the questions as well and help to answer them. But
I
yeah.
would too. Okay.
Yay.
Thank you,
Mwah. Thank
everybody.
you,
Love you
everyone.
guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.